So it has been a while since we spoke about Illuminati on this channel, but if you've been paying attention to any of this situation throughout the last few months, you won't be surprised that it's actually got even worse. Because throughout this, Blair hasn't exactly shown us any type of sign that she's going to try and make the situation better. In fact, all her decisions so far have been pretty poor. I guess the only thing that might be surprising to you is how could this actually possibly get worse? I mean, it's pretty bad already. You might be thinking, how has she managed to dig an even deeper hole? Well, let's see. So the main person we're going to be talking about today is OzMedia, who is one of the many people on the Sad Milk channel, which was a collaboration channel that had like OzMedia, for example, The Click, obviously Blair, Wonderstruck, and a few other people involved. And just like everybody else who was part of the Sad Milk channel, OzMedia has been very vocal about how Blair was acting at them times, how Blair is acting now, and that he doesn't agree with the way she's been acting. But he hasn't actually uploaded his video yet. He was on Wonderstruck's video, like kind of talking about his experience with Blair, but he personally hasn't uploaded a video to his channel, but he still managed to receive a cease and desist. As you can see by this tweet from June 6th, OzMedia says, guess who just got a cease and desist? So Illuminati has officially sent me a cease and desist. Best part is she cites parts of videos which I had no part in and demands I make a public apology. Illuminati sent a physical cease and desist to my dad's address as well, one I haven't lived at in 3 years, which she would know because I still live in the house we shared. Trying to scare my dad? You're forcing my hand here, something I initially didn't want to do. Now, you may already be aware of this because we did speak about it in my previous videos, but because we haven't heard about it for so long, I was thinking to myself, has Blair dropped these threats? Is she following up with these cease and desists and actually trying to take legal action? Like, what's going on here? Well, it looks like we have our answer because 2 days ago, OzMedia tweeted this. I'm still working on my video, however, Blair is taking legal action against me to take my home. Yeah, just when you thought Blair couldn't get any more unhinged, she's apparently, allegedly, trying to take OzMedia's home. I'm not exactly sure how she's planning to do that, but if this is true, that is genuinely insane. I need help with the legal costs and will be providing a full and detailed explanation on how I'm even in this position within my video. Putting link below to avoid throttling. And here's what the link leads to. It's a GoFundMe, says OzMedia Legal Fees and Housing Fund. He's currently raised $3,872 of a $4,000 target. And in the description, the first paragraph is basically his tweet that we just read out, but it carries on saying, if you have any hesitations on donating because of the lack of information, the video will be provided as an update with a timestamp once available, as I don't want to divulge too much information while the video is still in the works. Anything helps. I need to secure a retainer fee to allow me to pursue my defense. Anything over the legal fees will be used to secure my home or future housing if it comes down to it. Yeah, so what we have learned from this is it does seem like Blair is going ahead with taking legal action, which is interesting because when she was sending out the cease and desist, it was a bit up in the air. Is Blair actually going to try and go ahead with this, or is she just trying to like threaten people, scare them, get them to stop talking and apologize? Well, it seems like Blair is trying to go ahead with it, which I don't understand for the life of me, because it's been very clear throughout the situation that when she sent the cease and desist, it had a very negative reaction. It did nothing for her reputation, which she seems to care a lot about. And if anything, this is making her look way worse than she already did, and I just don't understand the thought process. Now, as for the house situation, we obviously don't know all the details here. My first reaction to this was, does that mean Blair is trying to sue him for a ridiculous amount of money, which would mean that if he did have to pay it, he would have to sell his house because too much money he doesn't have? Or there could be some big details that we aren't aware of, because OzMedia and Blair did used to live in the same house, so legally I don't know how that was ran and whose name it was under and all that stuff. I guess we'll find out in OzMedia's video. But one thing's for sure, if Blair is willing to already have tried to ruin people's lives with like fake accounts and fake rumors, a bunch of lies and all this stuff, but then take it a step further where she is willing to make someone lose their house, like, how does she ever think people are ever going to be on her side again? Like, no one is going to forgive her for this. It's one thing trying to ruin people's reputation on YouTube and trying to ruin friendships and all that stuff, which all of that is horrible, but to try and go for someone's house, or at least go for them in a way that would mean they would lose their home and you know that could be the outcome, that is beyond repulsive. It's absolutely disgusting. But yeah, I'm very curious to see OzMedia's video when it does go out. Obviously, we'll probably be covering it on this channel to see more of the details. I know there's like a bunch of rumors going around on like Twitter and that OzMedia and Blair were in a relationship. Don't know if that's true by any means, but maybe if it was, there might be some like legalities behind that with them living in the same house, because I know laws in certain places are a bit weird about that, even if you aren't married. Well, I'm sorry to interrupt the video. This is obviously MARKIE from the future. This is actually at nearly 1 o'clock in the morning my time, but we actually have an update to the OzMedia and Blair situation that is very important for this video, because OzMedia has just tweeted saying someone false reported my GoFundMe fundraiser and got it taken down, and he actually included a screenshot of the email he received, and it's very suspicious. Hello, we're writing to tell you that the fundraiser has been suspended and won't be visible on GoFundMe until some edits are made. It is against our terms to include any personally identifiable information, inflammatory or accusatory language in your fundraiser title, description, images, or updates. Please remove any PII, inflammatory language, or specific accusations from your fundraiser. PII is any information that can be used to distinguish or trace an individual's identity, such as name, phone number, address, date and birth, or any other information that is linked or linkable to an individual, such as medical, educational, financial, and employment information. It then gives some details on how to make these changes and says, until your fundraiser is updated, it won't be visible on GoFundMe. We encourage you to make any necessary edits within 48 hours and reply to this message once done so we can review. If we don't hear back from you at that time, we'll go ahead and redact the information as necessary so we can reinstate your fundraiser. So, you can imagine what the reaction to this has been like, right? And if this has nothing to do with Blair, and this is just a coincidence, she's only got herself to blame, really, because her actions have made people believe that this is definitely Blair who has caused this. I mean, the amount of times that Blair has tried to silence people just in the last couple of months, who would put it past her to really try and take down this GoFundMe, right? So the bit I find a bit odd about all of this is I've seen a lot of GoFundMes very similar to OzMedia's. We've seen them plenty of times in my videos, right? When people get involved in drama, it ends up with like legal actions being taken and they need funds for a lawsuit, and they pretty much have the exact same description. They describe the situation they're in, they mention the people they're involved with, and yeah, they basically use the exact same details that OzMedia has, and I've never seen them getting taken down. But yeah, maybe OzMedia was just unlucky, maybe this was just an automated system with GoFundMe and they took it down after they detected something. It's a bit difficult to know. The GoFundMe was up for a few days, so you'd think it'd be taken down before then, but who knows, it might not have anything to do with Blair, but let's have a look at the replies. Gee, I wonder who would do such a thing. No doubt that a certain person with an agenda who is always claiming to be a victim surely wouldn't do that. Probably Blair's doing. Oh gee, I wonder who could be responsible for such a naughty act. My mind simply illuminated as I'm thinking about this. Yeah, clearly everyone believes that this is Blair who has reported this, and like I mentioned, if it is Blair, wouldn't be surprised. She's done stuff very similar to this over and over again, right? But if it's not, she kind of only has herself to blame, because like I said, this is something that she would do. Anytime someone's done something that Blair doesn't like, she's either made rumors about them with like fake accounts, there's a bunch of lies to ruin their reputation. If people are trying to speak out against her, she'll slap them with a cease and desist and threaten legal action and all this stuff. So yeah, clearly she probably would report a GoFundMe account, but it might not be. That's just like speculation. I just thought it was interesting and it was worth mentioning in this video. But without further ado, let's go back to Pascal and before I knew about any of this and see what he's fucking waffling on about, shall we? But yeah, I mean, if we go to Blair's channel, she is still uploading like nothing is happening. She hasn't really spoke about this situation for a long time. She obviously did the original video addressing everything and spreading even more lies that have now been disproven, but apart from that, she hasn't really said anything. She released a statement on Twitter basically saying, I can't speak right now, we'll speak in the future. Hasn't really spoke since. And yeah, like I said, she's just going on like nothing happened. Her views have dropped like dramatically. I mean, I remember when I first started kind of covering Blair in this situation, she was getting like hundreds of thousands of views per video. Now she's getting like under 20k on some, under 30k on a bunch of others. They've obviously dropped for her standard. This is a channel with what, 1.3 million subscribers? I mean, if we have to give any type of credit to Blair, she hasn't tried to filter the comments, or at least if she is, she's doing a very bad job of it, because let's just see some of the comments on a most recent video. Taking legal action against someone to try and take their home from them just because you lived there for a few years is sickening, pathetic, and evil. You have the audacity to try and take someone's home just so you can gain ego points. How sad. Yeah, I mean, this wouldn't be the first time that we've seen this. Remember the car situation with Wonderstruck as well? It's very, very similar, which again proves that Blair hasn't learned anything from this. She is acting in the same way that she did before that got her all this criticism in the first place. She seems very delusional to me. Let's say it like that. And yeah, you know what? I've actually just seen this comment, and this is kind of my thought thought process too, especially his first sentence that says, interesting tactic, going after a man's house, especially since of all the people that have said and posted things about you, he's actually done the least. That's what I don't get about this. He hasn't uploaded a video yet. Obviously, he's been talking about the fact that he will, but the fact that she's going at him so hard compared to the rest, first of all, makes me think, what does OzMedia know? What could he potentially say? Because it seems like Blair is panicking massively. But secondly, it seems like she is going after OzMedia the most because she can potentially do the most damage, right? There's this housing situation as well. Obviously, I believe the Click doesn't actually live in America, because I know he's not American, right? But I'm not sure if he lives there now. But if he doesn't live in America, it'd be very, very hard for Blair to try and sue him, which would make sense as to why she hasn't tried, and he hasn't said that he's received a cease and desist. So by the looks of it, she's just seen OzMedia as the easiest target and went, fuck it, I'm gonna go all out on him, which, again, is disgusting. But yeah, either way, that's the update on the Illuminati situation. I thought this situation would have been over like months ago, but clearly it's not. It seems like this isn't going to be my last video on this topic as well. I know I say it in these videos sometimes, oh, this will be my last video on Illuminati. It's probably not, right? I'll be as honest as can be. There's probably going to be at least 5 or 6 more. We'll see how this situation plays out. Obviously, OzMedia needs to release his video. We'll get a lot more information in that we don't already know. I would love to know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and if you did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.